started?
Yes. I've never done a live before.
Well, I have, but not with
you. You sell earrings.
Okay, hey guys. You sold nothing?
No.
Well, we are, as promised, doing our live video Q&A with Tanner. So, I'll kind of get to this kind of quickly, at least. So.
What kind of Q&A is this? I've been at work all day long. I did like 8 colors. I've been working nonstop since 8 a.m. And then I find out that I'm going to do a live video. Q&A.
Surprise.
Super excited.
Yes. So, we're going to ask you questions like that everybody wants to ask you.
Did y'all ask people to ask me?
Yes.
Oh, dear goodness.
I just kind of signed her up for this.
Got it.
Okay.
All right.
So, the question is, if you could ask Tanner anything, with respect, of course.
Oh, anything.
Anything. What would it be? And drop your questions below. Okay?
Did we get any questions dropped?
Yes.
5.
Really?
I don't know.
No. Okay, so what we have first, and I really like this one, is, her question is, would you be her life coach?
A life coach. Sure. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out.
Yes.
But
that's Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
Okay. The second question. Have you considered motivational speaking?
Yeah, so the answer is yes.
Okay.
I'm kind of trying to figure out, this is kind of like what the Ravenous Reach thing was for, I guess, the idea. I have lots of ideas, but motivational speaking would probably be one of those. And I'm not really sure exactly what motivational, but kind of define that. But public speaking of some sort has definitely been an option.
Okay. Do you have a scripture that's your go-to?
Ooh.
Like off the top of your head.
Do I have a scripture that I go to? It's going to sound cliche and a lot of people use it, but Romans 8:28, if I can always believe that he works for the good, always the good, always the good, he is good, he is good. That's really all I need to know.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Have you had any special signs from Raven?
I met with my pastor the other day, and I told him to his face, I don't look for her. I really don't. I don't look for her in anything, because I don't know, and I told him this, I don't exactly know what I believe about the nitty-gritty details of heaven or what happens when we die. I'm super simplistic. I believe that whenever we die, we're with God, the end. And that's really all I need to know. And so if she showed herself to me, I guess, or gave me a sign, it would have to be I know if she were going to show me something, it would be something that would be me and her, because she knows that I'm that way. You know what I mean? Like she would have to be like, okay, this is me. Yes. So I'm not ruling it out, but I don't search for Raven to tell me something.
Right. Okay. Here's a big one.
Okay.
Do you plan on meeting the kids who have received Raven's organs?
Yeah, so the recipients, it's kind of a complicated process. And that's okay. Most of everything is complicated with this. But right now, I'm trying to respect that they just got their kid back, or they just got, Christmas morning, figuratively. And so I'm really trying to let that set in and really try to, get in my headspace where I need to be in order to kind of start that process. It does start with us. Yes, I'm still coughing. It does start with us. We would write a letter through LifeGift, and then they would give it to the recipients, and then they have the option to write us back. So I have not written a letter yet. That's still in the yes, I probably will. But it's not something I want to be prepared for that just as much as I should be. Right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, another good one. Lindsay said that she was at the funeral, and when you walked in, you looked around and you had a huge, peaceful smile. So she's saying she can imagine some of the things that you'd be thinking, but what specifically was going through your mind at this specific moment?
So with Raven's story, I'm her mother, period. Yeah. So everything that I thought, everything that I did was as Raven's mother. And so everything from right after her fall to the funeral, or after, right in there, was I need to be her mother. And as soon as I walked into the funeral, it was like an overwhelming peace, and it was peace, but it was that I have done everything. We have made it here. I have done the best that I can for her. And at the moment when I walked into the funeral, I was like, we did it. Like, we did it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it was.
And I think also seeing all those people in there was...
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, that's part of the we did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
True.
this isn't a small story for me. And I guess I'm learning that it wasn't a small story for everybody else. And it was people I didn't know, people that I did know.
Mm-hmm.
When I walked in and looked up, I think that they played back where you can see me kind of wave at somebody. And that is actually my friend Sherry Seacrest. If you've watched a video where we talked about it, or went to the church service where we talked about it, she was up top and I saw her, and she lost her son just like I lost my daughter. So for me to walk in and see her, one of the first people, that had a big part in it. So for me.
Okay, let's see. Okay, this might be asked quite a bit, so I'm going to stick with this one question, and then sorry, I'm getting text messages as we're going.
Okay.
So this question's being asked a lot, so I'll just ask it once, and then if it repeats, I won't ask it again.
Okay.
So the first question is, how are you, and do you need anything?
How am I? Some days are good and some days are not good. Some days are silly, where I just can't get a handle on it.
Yeah.
I think that's expected, but that's usually when I'm, like right now when Anthony's on shift and he works 24 hours, and so, I'm by myself at home. So do I need to do something? Do I need to get, the piles of Raven, organized? And those little things are difficult. But then some days I'm okay. I just feel good about, it helps that I feel good about the end result. You know what I mean? Like, nobody would ever wish this. I would never wish this. It's terrible. And it is terrible. But there's something to be said for, like, how hard you work as a mother. You know what I mean? And when you can, at the end of the day, like, no. Like, I laid it out. Then overall, I feel good about her,
Right. Okay. This is another question that gets asked a lot.
Sure.
What can we pray for you today? So I'm thinking they want something specific that is today.
Specific prayers. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot that I am not used to, that I would never have planned for my life. I would never have probably considered the things that I'm considering now. We talked about the public speaking. We talked about I had to kind of invest and see what an LLC was, and what all these forms and all these numbers and letters and foundations and trusts, and what do you want to do with their legacy and all this. Like, I guess specific prayer would be for me to really be able to discern what is not necessarily what is right. I think there's a lot of right things that could be right, but like the specific purpose for me that fits in continuing Raven's legacy. That's hard for me right now. Like, there's so many options. There's so many voices. There's so many, we could go this way. We could go this way. How about this? And really, I just want to like chit chat with God and see, exactly what part of this do I fit in? Where's my seat at this table?
Absolutely. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, there are a lot of repeating questions.
That's okay.
So, some people just want to say, they do want to ask a question, but also want to tell you things.
Sure.
So, is there something you need? Make sure you are taking time for yourself and letting yourself grieve the way you need, and not giving too much of yourself to others right now.
I get that. I understand that. And there's a fine line. I think that I do the take a break, grieve. Okay, because I can't unpack there. Like, I can realize what I talk to. I guess what people don't know is that, yes, I have a therapist, and I'm planning to go back there. Yes, I have a pastor. Yes, I talk. Yes, I have an inner circle. So, but But my thing is that me personally, the way I grieve, like the things that I think that are perfectly normal and perfectly human, and I'm not superhuman. I'm perfectly flawed and messed up. But I can't unpack in those messed up things or I'll get stuck there. So part of mental training is really feel a feeling, think a thought. Where do those come from? Why do I think that? What am I learning from that? And then, try to move the needle forward at the same time. So I do grieve, but more in small doses.
Okay. Awesome. So I have one that's really deep.
Okay.
So a few people have brought this up, and so I'm going to incorporate what I've seen, two questions/statements together.
Okay.
So a lot of people are saying, of course, they never pray. They pray that they never have to face what you've had to go
Absolutely.
through. But they're very impressed with the strength that you showed dealing with all things considered, and that you've shown grace to Shane. Okay, so although you all have separate lives, the admiration you showed him at Raven's funeral, even for him being an amazing father, and how he is, and he was and is to Raven, speaks for the type of person you are. Second person is saying, these go hand in hand.
Sure.
They consider themselves to be a religious person, but have trouble with forgiveness, especially forgiving others that hurt them. They're asking, how do they truly forgive? So you've handled the accident with so much grace. I know it was not Shane's intention to hurt Raven, but I think that if you would need someone to blame, I know that's not good quality, so how do I become more like you? So not blaming him.
All right. I want to say that I'm human. Have I ever thought about blaming anything or anyone? Absolutely. When you're desperate, you just want to blame somebody. And it's a lot easier to be mad than it is to be sad. And so at first I was, I'm human, like I say. You want to think those thoughts, but in the end, you can't unpack that. You can't unpack there. It's an irrational thought. If you can know that, wow, you thought that, I get it. You think that because you lost your daughter. However, you know better. You know what I mean? Like if you can unpack your mind that way and think yourself through it, then I find that if I blamed Shane or I blamed anything else besides me, then I would be the one paying that consequence for that. It's not Shane. Shane's got his, I haven't talked to him, but I'm sure he's got his own mental processes and stuff that he's working through on his own. It's not fair to anyone if I would unpack my things and just stay stuck on the fact that, I could blame someone or I could not forgive somebody. I would never move forward. I would never grow. I would never be of help to anyone if I constantly just blamed someone else. What happened, and it is unfortunate, and it is the worst thing that I have ever had happen to me. However, God forgives me every day, and I've done a lot of things wrong. And so I have no rocks to throw. And because of that, between me and God, that's the way you move. That's the way you move forward.
Okay. On a happier topic. Have you found out the gender of the baby?
I haven't. Wednesday, we hopefully find out. This baby has given me a lot. A lot. So I'm 20 weeks. I still want to throw up all the time. I have a doctor's appointment on Wednesday, and hopefully it'll show me something. Mm-hmm. I hope it just doesn't sit there when its legs crossed and smiles at me.
Doesn't cross its legs.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I've got another question. Sure. I'm going to read the question so I don't mess it up. So, sure. What would you tell a 45-year-old, which is their birthday today?
Oh, happy birthday.
And that's Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
She's a mom of three young girls, who wants to start training her mind, body, and soul. I haven't focused on myself for a long time. I need to feel stronger and sure of myself. It's hard to get motivated after so long. I want to teach my girls to take care of themselves while caring for others. You're an inspiration to that. Prayers and thank you. So how would you advise her to start training her body, mind, and soul?
If you're not training anything, Will you go get me a cough drop off of my nightstand in the morning while I answer this question?
Okay.
Okay, so if you're not training anything at all in any of those 3 areas, then I would automatically, start praying. I mean, like, the soul is the most important. It is. But if you don't know where to start, I would start with physical, because it's the most natural, right? It's the most concrete thing that you can do. So obviously, I'm always going to say CrossFit, because I just believe that I've trained all 3 at once in CrossFit. I've done a lot of things that are athletic. I'm not very good, mind you. I'm not very good at sports. I played volleyball once. It was terrible. I cheerleaded once. It was terrible. I'm just terrible. I ran track once, and that was the worst thing you've ever seen. CrossFit, however, you don't have to do it by yourself, and it's all group, and everybody's there to cheer you on. And it's like, I just can't say good enough things about CrossFit, and I know I sound like just a lunatic about it. I am. But if I could say one thing I'm not doing anything and I want to start something, I would automatically tell you to go do CrossFit. And if you don't want to do CrossFit, okay. But move, right? Move, exercise, start there. Even if you're like going on walks, and then you can just start talking. I would say that's body and soul.
Okay.
But I'm always going to stick with CrossFit.
Okay. I'm going to skip to one question, and then while you're answering that, I'm going to go check to see something real quick.
Ooh, what are you going to check?
Well, okay, I'll go ahead and ask the question, but I want to make sure it's this person's care package. So,
it's the Jess one?
Jess.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's the one we just opened at the salon.
Okay.
Whenever.
So, Jess wanted to know, did my care package make it to your hands yesterday?
It made it tonight. Just now. Thank you. It was packed.
Yeah, it was
packed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And little cute stuff like the
Very
lifesavers.
thoughtful. Very thoughtful. Thank you.
Yes.
For real. Thank you very much.
Okay, so some people are asking, is there like a P.O. box? The salon is where we are having stuff sent to. So, we'll...
321 Northwest Renfro Street, Burleson, Texas, 76028. That's where I'm having everything sent. Just easy.
Okay. I like this one. Danielle said, I wouldn't ask anything of her. She's given more than I could have imagined. I'd simply tell her that I'm praying for her entire family, for continued peace, a healthy rest of her pregnancy, and ask that the Lord keeps his arms wrapped around them.
That is the sweetest thing ever.
So sweet.
Thank you so much.
That was Danielle.
So sweet. So sweet.
It. So that way.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. I like this one too. Okay, so I feel like I keep saying that. I'm like, oh,
I like this one.
I love it. What made you name her Raven? God already knew her name. There's such an awesome story behind her name.
Okay, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this one because, you know what? Because people have been asking.
Yes.
Okay, so whenever Shane and I got pregnant, we found out we were pregnant, he told me that if it was a boy, he was going to name it Christian. Period. The end. I had no choice. Okay, so... which, I guess I was just more mad that I didn't have it. So he told me that I could name his middle name, but that was it. The end. And I told him, and not very good verbiage, so I won't repeat exactly. But when we know 100% that it's a girl, I have that first name. And then he was like, fine, it's fine. And I was like, and you can name your middle name. Okay, because he was just set on it being a boy. Well, it wasn't a boy. And if you, I'm telling you, I'm worried about this baby crossing its legs. Raven did not. She straddled the camera. They didn't have to tell me. I was like, I've seen that before. And so I said, that first name's mine. And then he wanted to double. Well, how about? So we went through all these names that I loved, and man, it just everything that I liked, it just wasn't working. So I wanted to name her Nixon, and I didn't want to name her how does it sound? How does it spell? Nixon. Period. I'm Tanner. I don't have a girl name. I didn't want a girly name. It just wasn't working. Shane wanted to spell it with a Y, so I was like, okay, N-I-X what? Like, I don't understand. He was like, N-Y-X. Man, I can't even remember how he spelled it. It was atrocious, and I will tell him that to his face. I spent a long time telling him that. Man, and I'm telling you, we got into a pregnant fight. I mean, hormones. Fight. Gosh, it was so bad. So then, I think I went to bed without talking to him. Oh, I was so mad. So then, the next day, my mom suggested Raven. That's all she said. How about Raven? Mm-hmm. Well, I was really into, like, those teeny bopper fictions. They were big at that point. Twilight was big at that point. Everything, like, an extension of Twilight was good. So yes. I was reading all this dark, young adult fantasy, whatever. And there was a lot of figurative, imagery with ravens. And Dave Matthews Band has been my, like, absolute favorite since 6th grade. He had a song titled Raven. It just fit. Well, Nana hated it.
She did not like it at all.
Hated it. It was the first
dark
bird.
And...
Well, the thing is that I will go off on a tangent if I go here.
Yes.
But Nana was like, that's the first bird that Noah sent and it never came back. Remember that?
Yeah, but we found out.
But, side note.
Yes.
I'm visiting this place. This thing is live. Y'all just get to hang out with me.
Yes.
Side note. So, yes, the raven was the first bird that Noah sent from the ark, right? And it didn't come back. So, then he sent the dove. You know the rest of the story. However, raven is cool because it goes across cultures. It goes across religions, which is very my Raven. She could relate to anybody. It didn't matter what they believed or what they looked like. She was very relatable to them. So if you look in like Viking culture, like the Scandinavian old Vikings, they were very big on ravens too. If they were lost at sea, much like Noah, they would release the ravens. And in Viking culture, they prayed to the gods that ravens would not come back because the raven was smart enough that if there was something better, something bigger, they would not come back. And so they knew that there must be something better as long as the raven didn't come back.
That gives me chills.
Which is how I look at Raven now. She's not coming back because there's something better.
Yes.
Where was I going with that? What was my question?
Why was she named Raven?
Why did we get Raven? We also have, so Nana was stuck on the raven in the ark and how it was frowned upon.
Yes.
And we also have another grandmother, or a great aunt, Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
Who is very, very religious. And I'm not talking like opens the Bible, like she has that energy.
Is it Virginia or Aunt Lois?
Oh, Lois. Aunt Lois. Gosh,
okay.
we have they have 10 children in that line.
9 other siblings.
Lois. Yes. Lois. Extremely religious. And I'm not talking like knows the Bible. I'm talking about like, you're just in their presence and there's something bigger.
Yes, she's great.
She's very one of those. Very in touch. Very, very. Yes. And she's the one that told Nana about how the raven fed Elijah. Mm-hmm. And so
then she felt better about it.
So now we knew the story about Elijah, which was cool for us. However, my friend Ken Wilson had a baby named Elijah. So it just all kind of like, we loved it. We loved everything about it. Shane and I joke because that was the very next name that I told him after we had that big old fight after Nixon, and I think he would have agreed to anything, honestly. But it wound up being Raven.
Okay.
That's how we got it.
Okay, so that was a good one.
That was a long one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hopefully we didn't forget anything in there. Well, Nicole, you can explain that part too. Why?
Oh, my name's
chose
Nicole,
the middle name,
and he named her middle name after me.
Yeah. So, and do we even know why he chose that?
No, he just gave her mama's name.
That's cool. I like that. Repeat. Let's see. Another, I don't have anything to ask. Please just be careful and rest. I'm praying you're doing okay.
I rest a lot. I sleep
does.
all the time.
She's in bed by like 6 o'clock, so this is late for her.
And you gotta wake me up. Like, you gotta tell me we got to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How is your mom and Mary doing? How is Anthony?
How are you, Mary?
I'm great. I'm good.
Anthony's good. It's good for him to get back to work. I know that when he gets, to go to work, it's fire station. I call it fire hall, and then he makes fun of me the entire time. So when he goes to the fire station, it's 24 hours of what he loves to do. He has spent 10 years in the Marine Corps. And so for him, going to work is very, it's a getaway from real life, essentially. And so as hard as it is for me right now for him to be at work, I'm really glad that he gets to go to work. It gives him a break.
A distraction.
Yeah, a good break.
For sure. How about your mom?
My mama, I don't really, I mean, I talk to her all the time, but I go to sleep. And so when we go have dinner, like, I have to leave early. So, I mean, like, yeah. I think that everybody's kind of the same. It's really terrible, and then it's okay. And then it's terrible, and then it's okay. And it comes in waves, and I fully believe that. So much I can tell the same story one day, and then the next day I can't even tell you because I
feel
cry
completely different about it.
Yeah,
right. But I think when we're all together, we do pretty well.
Overall, we're really good. Yeah. I mean, really good sounds so, like, it's
I
like...
know.
That's
whenever I was like, I'm great. And I'm like, well... Yeah, I mean, it's kind of awkward to tell people that you're sad or grieving or whatever, but it's just the obvious.
I mean, I feel like what I should feel like, but at the same time, I feel solid. Yeah. Like, I don't feel like...
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah, that was
Maybe
good.
We don't know how we
Yeah,
are.
we don't know. Clueless. One day I'm fine. I am learning grieving is like a cycle. So you may think that you've gone through all 5 stages, but it'll hit you all over again. Yes, our therapist, I was told, I think I've hit all 5 stages. I'm great. And the next day I'm like, I'm not okay.
Stage 1. I'm at stage 1.
Yes. So, okay. Let's see. This one's kind of long, so I'm going to read the whole thing to make sure. Okay. We kind of hit this, but I'll still read it. I'd asked Tanner what many are asking, what can we do for you? I assure you that we are praying, and although I don't live in Texas, it seems that you've been spotted out. What are you comfortable with? The hugs we all want to give you, or for now, more space? We all love you.
Oh, yeah. So I wouldn't, I've kind of had both. What do we call it? The eyes. When we go places. You're like, they have the eyes. They know.
Yes.
They have the eyes.
And it's like we love for people to say hi.
Very sure.
There's a protective, I don't know, I've never known this about me, but when people come at you, I'm like, protective instinct, like, I give you the eyes.
I'm usually like, it's okay, Mary.
I know. I'm like, I'm really sorry, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I'm perfectly fine with people coming up to me, which I guess, either way, I would rather people come up to me than feel like they can't.
True.
I would hate to come across as unapproachable.
Yes.
Because I'm super approachable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as long as it's a good outcome, and they're nice, and most people have been so nice.
Most
my goodness.
So nice.
So nice. So,
yeah. No, I wouldn't say avoid me, for sure.
No, definitely
because
not.
I know you know. I can tell in your face.
Yes, we can see the eyes.
I can see your eyes.
Definitely, yeah. Let's see.
What can we do for you? Honestly,
yeah.
I really don't know. I tell people that there's really nothing that you can do for me right now. But I guess my major thing would be like, is kind of a irrational favor. And that's just don't forget. You know what I mean? Like whatever you're feeling right now, whatever change or inspiration or motivation that you're feeling. Yeah. Or new insight because of Raven, and whatever you feel because of Raven, I just ask that you don't forget what this feels like, because I think that that's the biggest thing that this was for, not for naught. This is for something, and it changed a lot of lives, and I would like to think that they were changed for good.
Oh yeah, we want them permanently changed. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Another. Have you seen any signs from Raven? But.
No. I mean, I got a weird view on that.
Yeah, that's
true. I
true.
feel like if I searched for Raven, I would search for her all the time. I would become obsessive. And I know my kid. Mm-hmm. And if she showed me something, it would be like, and she knows me too. So she knows how I work. And it would be like undeniable, unmistakable. I'm telling you, that she would show no one else. Mm-hmm.
For sure. Without a shadow of a doubt, you would know.
I would know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. It's same quote, but have you ever thought of being a personal trainer or life coach? Which you are technically a trainer.
Yeah, so I train at CrossFit 313. I love that. So I kind of already do that. I'm not really sure. I mean, this public speaking, this life coach, I feel very unqualified. A lot of people go to school for public speaking. A lot of people go to school, read a lot of books, get a lot of certs for these things. And so I'm kind of juggling the, I would love to, and I feel like I would have a platform, but like, am I even qualified? Like, yeah. So I'm kind of just flirting with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of times you go to school for something, but your life experiences are
I have a bachelor's degree.
More. So.
It's a really expensive picture on the wall.
Yes, it is. It is. Okay, let's see. There's two I really like. Make me smile. Alicia wants to know, do you have any idea how truly amazing you are?
Absolutely not. I don't. And that is not even a thing.
And how much of an inspiration you are.
That's sweet.
Yeah, God's face sure shines through you. I thank you for that, is what she's saying. So I think that's really sweet.
That is super sweet. And then I'm awkward.
I'm over here smiling ear to ear. Okay. And the next one is, how do you get your hair to look so good? I know his face is coming.
Ever wash it.
Yeah, true that.
Just never wash it.
I mean, you are a cosmetologist, so
yeah, but
you're a hairstylist.
Mary Ellen said, "Are you sure you don't want to put some color in your cheeks before I turn the camera on?"
I did.
So I did to her because of her. Otherwise, I was like, no.
Yes.
None. Honestly, I curl it once a week, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm telling everyone this. Once a week. And you know when it is? Church day, which is tomorrow.
So she's going to wash it again.
And then I just brush it.
It's just all
hair coils, not rubber bands. Hair coils. If you put your hair up, it'll go back to this.
Mm-hmm. True that. Okay. Oh, that was sweet. Let's see. Sorry, there's a lot of repetitive, so I don't want to... Okay, how are preparations for the new baby coming along?
They're not.
We first want to find out what it is.
Here's the thing. I am not a live day by day person.
Nope.
I like to plan things, and there's not much that I can plan right now.
Yes.
So we're talking about, we had all these plans and timelines and, goals, and we had it all together because Anthony and I are that type. We just have a plan, work the plan. We found out our plans were kind of different than what we thought. Not just about Raven. Obviously, that was a pivotal moment. But our plans that we had for moving and stuff like that were on a certain timeline, and we found out that the timeline is a little bit different. So, we might even, we're actually, as of yesterday, we could possibly be looking for houses. So, at this point, I don't even know, if I would even make a room here. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So, would I be moving or would I be staying here? I don't know. And at this point, if I keep this house, I have a guest room and I have Raven's room. Would I convert Raven's room or leave Raven's room for Raven who's not here and take over the guest? Do you see where I'm at? It's really hard. So, once we're past the benefit, I think Adrian and all of us are going to plan a really cool baby shower. That's exciting. That'll be cool for us. But as far as painting a room and getting, I bought a chair from my friend Megan probably 2.5 months ago, a baby rocker, and she still has it, and I still haven't picked it up. That about sums up how preparations are going.
Done.
I've never denied just being honest.
No, definitely not. So I'm going to go ahead and head on to this next. It's the same quote, or the same person. 2 questions. Okay. Are you getting the help that you need? First. Second, someone to just sit with you and not need to say anything. I'm just going to present myself right here. You have a lot of people like that, I think.
Yeah, but honestly, if you sit and say nothing, then I'm awkward too.
It's true. So. It's true. We don't ever say nothing, but...
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you needed it, I would do it.
Am I getting all that I need? Absolutely. I'm getting more than I think that I need from everybody, from, you know, people who have always been close to me to people I have never met. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, I'm super covered in that area. As far as people who sit with me, honestly, I'm at a weird kind of spot. I really want my husband. And then I like to hang out and I like to go to dinner. But as far as, like, really just spending time, I kind of need a minute. You know what I mean? So I kind of really cling on to Anthony, and then I really don't cling on to anybody. So just for right now.
Yeah.
But me and Marilyn do what we've always done. That's what I like. It's nothing's like different. I mean, you know what I mean. We're so close that it doesn't matter what we go through.
Yeah.
We're still the same.
Yeah.
So if she did anything different, it would be weird.
True that.
It would be weird.
It is. I know, like, at the hospital, I was just kind of like, I didn't even want to hug you because I'm just like, I'll just stand here.
Just when you think you can't cross new territory.
Yes, I know. That is so true. I know. Just when I thought I knew everything about you, this happens. Okay, let's see.
However, Mary took apart the couch in the hospital and slept on the 2 cushions on the floor.
And you documented that, and I'm gonna, if you ever doubt my loyalty, I'm gonna show you that picture
That's
over and
the
over.
kind of people. But I never asked, and honestly,
no.
The thing is, I don't need to entertain Mary Ellen. I fell asleep before that, and she slept on the tile floor with no pillows.
Yes, the first night.
That's what I have. That's just as good.
I was just, I'm gonna be here, and I'm not leaving. Yep. Work, I was like, I'm sorry. Out.
Gotta go.
Okay. Oh, this is sweet. Have you and Shane always had such an awesome, respectful relationship? What are some things you could give for advice for co-parenting?
I could talk for a long time on co-parenting.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say in the beginning?
Have you and Shane always had such an awesome, respectful relationship?
Absolutely not.
To be honest.
As always. Not even going to preface that anymore.
Yes.
Shane and I are no different, I think, than normal people. Gosh, I need another cough drop.
And I only had one.
Of course.
You talk, I'm going to go look for one. I'll leave that there.
Shane and I are really still human. And we have every single problem or every single obstacle that any other person or couples do that split up. Boy, we've had a rough go. We had really hard times where we were just so fire mad at each other. And the good thing about me and Shane is that on my end, I knew if I made him mad, then he would be okay in a couple of hours. Same thing for me, man. If he made me mad, I was just mad, and then, you know, in a couple hours, it was like, okay, back to the drawing board. I can vouch for this, that we always put Raven first, period. I never used Raven against him. He never used Raven against me. We never said any bad things, you know, to Raven about each other. If Raven wanted to go do something with them, you know, if Raven wanted to go eat with us on Sundays, because that's what we do as family day, and she wanted to go eat with us, he would let her go eat with us. If she wanted to go do stuff with that side, then, perfect.
I found one more, now I've got for the others.
Just like River's birthday party on that Saturday, then we let her go. She never felt any pressure, you know, like that she had to pick. We split holidays our own way. We had paperwork. We never followed the paperwork on that. We did our own thing. And that comes with practice, and that comes with effort, and that comes with the willingness to talk and to communicate and to not hold what I have against Shane through Raven. Like that won't work. That'll choke you to death. So, Shane and I were able to put aside whatever, anytime, focus on Raven, And then Raven never really had any pressure, and that was the greatest thing about it. So I guess maybe we always have had the respectful relationship. It's just that we always didn't feel like doing it. We just did it anyways. And so if I had to, whenever Anthony and I first met, he'd had a vasectomy. And so I'd assumed that I couldn't even had a kid with you. So I'm glad that I had a child with someone before you so that I could experience motherhood. And Shane was a great option. He freaking just moved the world for her. He would have done anything for her. I can respect that. That's always something that I can respect. So did we have our obstacles? Whew. Whew. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He had some with me and I had some with him. But you just gotta work hard. Just like anything else, you just gotta work hard.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to go ahead and apologize if it's skipping out at all. Apparently, after we hit a certain number of people watching, it has been kind of skipping and cutting out. So hopefully once we post this later, you can actually see a little better. But I'm going to keep going, just in case. Michelle wants to know, would you come work out with her for one night at a gym in Arlington?
Sure. Of course I would.
Okay. Somebody else wants to take y'all to dinner. So, I think that would just be part of meal train and have to figure out.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it'd have to be set up.
Yeah, for sure. We'd have to, I mean, like.
Yeah, we're not saying no.
He works, I work 3 jobs. I mean, I'm not saying no.
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Yeah. Super sweet. Thank you.
Super sweet.
I'm
down for food.
I'm going to say there's a lot of questions about how Shane is handling things, and I don't think that's really for us to answer how he's doing. I think that
I would say that I saw Shane a couple nights ago, and he and I are on a lot of, not only the same book, but the same page in what we're going through with Raven. He's going to have different things. I'm going to have different things. But when I talked to him, and we kind of just chit-chatted about life since Raven, I think that we are very much on the same page. So I'll tell you that much. But as far as the details, I mean, I don't even know. So
I won't read this whole thing, but some people are saying really sweet things about you.
I'll read them later.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. What is 1 or 2 words that best describe beautiful little Raven?
She was very witty.
So witty.
She was witty, and by witty, she could memorize a lot of things. She never forgot something, really, that you told her. And you had to watch what you say because she would remember it. And she always had a comeback for something.
So quick.
I think what led to that was I could never do tantrums. If she tried one time to throw herself on the floor, and I don't know what came over me, but I went from 0 to 200, and I didn't even yell at her, I didn't even anything, but I mean, she felt what I felt, and like, she never tried me again. However, I never had a whiny tantrum, any of that, never had that with Raven, but she could give me 23 reasons why she thought it was a good day to go to the park when I said no.
Oh, yeah.
So she came up with that. She was, no one else has kids on our side. She was the only little. The next little is what, Gage? And he's just graduated from college. So,
yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, he's not so little anymore.
Even her siblings, Anthony's kids are 16 and 20 right now. So, I mean, like, she was around adults all the time.
She reasoned.
Super witty. Very witty.
Yeah, I almost always think of, when you say that, is she had food in the car and she threw it in the ground at my mom's in the driveway. Remember?
I don't even remember. She would say feed the birds.
Yes. You were like, I told you not to do that. She'd be like, I was feeding the birds.
Oh, yeah. She was very... But I mean...
Yeah, I always think of that when you say that.
Yeah. She was very that.
Okay.
I mean... And honestly, I don't even know, like... I can explain Raven to you in 1,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell me to, it's like, definitely witty. And, I mean... There's so many words that I'm
So
like,
many.
I only have one left, and that just, I don't know. I mean, she
was something.
she was something.
Yeah.
That's a good second word. Like,
there you
she
go.
was just
something. Yeah.
something.
Okay, so we'll skip on that part, but what was your favorite or funniest memory of Raven? Do you have a funny one that probably no one's heard? Or it's not documented?
You could probably help me with this. I've told you all of them.
Oh my goodness. Well, my favorite, that first one was throwing the fries on the ground or whatever it was. Oh man. To do it off the top of your head, you're like...
I might post this. I might come back to this one.
Yeah. Because you want to think of a really good one.
I have so many that are just...
Yeah.
And most of them weren't where I was getting her in trouble. Most of them were then.
Oh man, we're the same way. When we got in trouble, it's the funniest stories ever.
Oh my gosh. That girl.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Because this was recent. Not really terribly recent. Whatever, who cares. We had this betta fish, okay? I had actually bought it as a white elephant gift for a CrossFit party, Christmas party we were having. Bring a joke of a gift. I bought a betta fish with a tank. And my friend Molly opened it. And Raven was so upset when Molly took it because she thought we'd bought it for us. And so she was like, Molly's taking my fish. So Molly, of course, winds up giving it back to Raven. And then I had to take my own joke of a white elephant gift home and, like, take care of it. And so we went out of town for over a week. And I love you, Brooklyn, but I'm going to tell the whole world that you forgot to feed the fish.
Oh, no.
So the fish...
This is a good story.
So the fish dies. Okay? So then Raven comes home from her dad's because when we go out of town, she goes to her dad's. And she said, what happened to the fish? I said it died. I mean, we've never had a pet that died, you know.
So this was that very conversation.
Well, great papa, but it wasn't the same way.
True.
It wasn't like right there with her. So she said, what'd you do with it? And I said, I flushed it. And she said, you didn't bury it? And I said, no, I flushed it so it could swim to the ocean. I don't know. She goes, Mom, it's dead. It's not gonna swim away to the ocean. And so I sat there silent. And she, but she did this, she did this face and she was like she was gonna be sad about it, but then I couldn't, and I started dying laughing about it. And then she literally started laughing so hard she was crying, and we were both laughing about this fish that died, and I flushed it, and we were crying, laughing. And so, like, whenever I had to talk to her about death, that was the closest we got. And so every time we talk about death, I know that Raven's big conversation with death ended in just laughing.
Yes.
And that might be terrible, but it makes me happy.
It was a happy, you didn't make it
but
a
that was
scary
Raven.
thing.
You could tell her exactly what, and she would just roll with it. She was just such an old soul. I love her. She was great.
Okay, can you sing as well as play piano? I say she can sing.
I would say I dabble.
Okay. I mean,
We'll say this. I can say this for, like, I don't know, the rest of my life, but really, it sounds funny. I did make it to Hollywood on American Idol one year.
Yes. That is so true.
So I didn't tell you if I could sing or not, except for the fact that I did make it to Hollywood.
Yes, she did.
There,
and it was
there's my old lady.
Jennifer Lopez.
Really, all I just wanted to see Steven Tyler. Let's be real. If I had to be in the zebra suit, I was going to be in the zebra suit.
Yep.
But I wasn't. So, I like to sing.
It's true. And you sing at church on occasion as well.
I used to sing at church. Not so much anymore.
Not so much, but on occasion you do.
Maybe I will.
Maybe. The eyebrows. Okay, so Anthony said that...
That's if I could get over the cough.
Yes, true that. Anthony said on the live, they are asking People keep asking, how do you keep your faith after all of this?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you kind of what I told Mary earlier.
Thanks, Anthony.
I don't want to make light of it, but God is an old friend of mine. And he has never let me down ever. I have let him down 1,000 million times, and God has never let me down. And so, like I said, train your soul. I've been doing that for a long time. Here's how I've kept my faith. Honestly, let's be real and talk about like human natural reactions to when you lose something like a child. I've seen a lot of people who have said that they've turned from God, which is perfectly normal, which is a definite choice that I had and could have made. But like I was telling you earlier, I had to answer one fundamental question. When Raven died, do I believe she's with God? And when I thought that thought, my answer is yes. I believe wholeheartedly that God has my daughter. So how? I was never going to be that mom that let Raven go anywhere without knowing absolutely exactly who she was with. And so if nothing else, if I believe that God has my daughter, I want to know him. I want to know everything about him. I want to talk to him all the time. I want to be as close as I can to him, if for no other reason than because I know he has my daughter. And so if that is just the little bit of hope that you need to stick with it and to stay with what you believe, even when you don't feel like it, that's would be the fundamental reason why I could never have left God. I could have never have said, you know what, thanks, appreciate it, we're done. I could have never done that because he has Raven. Mm-hmm. So that would be the most basic.
Absolutely. I'm gonna real quick. I'm gonna ask just a few more.
Okay.
Because it feels like we've been on here a while, and I know you're tired and I'm hungry. So there's that. Okay, so here's a good one. Does it feel like God gave you Raven only for a short time so you and her could change so many lives, or do you ask God why every day?
I don't ask God why. I think that there was somebody that asked me if there was a song stuck in my head lately, and there is, and it's all sons and daughters. Oh, how I need you. But if you listen to the very beginning of the song, it says, Lord, I find you in the seeking. Lord, I find you in the doubt. And to know you is to love you, and to know so little else. And that is what I live my life by. I don't need to know why. I don't know if you know this, but God has done some things that will blow a human mind. And so I don't ask to know why, because even if I knew why, it wouldn't change the way I feel about Raven, right? So I don't ask why. I don't cherry pick Bible verses to throw what I think I know. I don't need any of that. I just trust God. I just trust God that he knew what he was doing. Do I believe that this was fate? I don't believe in fate. I can't really tell you what I believe about Raven's so-called destiny, or if she was destined to only live 6 years, or if that was a human freak accident and God used it, not he created it, or I got pregnant because this was his plan. I'm probably going to make maybe some not so good friends with this, but I don't believe everything happens for a reason. I think that things happen and then reasons happen later. I don't think that Raven had one sole purpose and this was it. You know what I mean? I think that she could have had a plan to live a long time, but things happen, life happens. We have free will, we have free choice. Sometimes things are cut short because people do things. Right. I don't ask why. I just trust God that this happened and that he knows what to do with it.
Okay, I'm gonna end 3 more questions. So the first one is, you went over this at the Celebration of Life, but some people might not have seen it. So I figure we'll answer it now. Did you donate Raven's entire body? So
no, I did not.
We talked about that at the Celebration of Life.
So Raven was 6. And there's some things that you don't qualify at 6 years old. Skin's one, bones are another. You can't transfer things or transplant things that won't stretch and grow with the person that received it. Bones and skin are one of those things. Her bones would not have grown, right? With another 6-year-old, they wouldn't have progressed. And so, no skin, no bones. Her lungs didn't work. They went to research, so they are still being, or were still being used. And then her eyes, and then all the other organs that we could donate that she was eligible for at 6 years old, we donated.
Okay. What are you going to name your new baby?
Phoenix. Our new baby's going to be named Phoenix. Boy or girl, I don't know yet. But people might have like mixed emotions on the name Phoenix. But it's a bird that, it technically dies by fire. And there's rebirth from it. So I would argue anyone, if they said my life wasn't ashes right now, I do feel like I've been tried by fire in every way possible. Yet I still have new birth. I have new life. And I think it's fitting. And I think it's strong. And I think it's still a bird, which is cool because, Raven was there. And that's where me and Anthony are.
Yeah.
And we like it the same.
Okay, so I'm going to do 2 just so we can answer this question. I feel like it's important. She said, I'd just like to know more about the organ donation, the process, like in depth. But we saw Tanner mostly, but were her and Shane in the same page mostly. So I figure you can answer on, y'all did it together.
That's a hard one to answer. And I'll stick to the people grieve differently. And so even in the midst of it, Shane and I were dealing with things a little bit differently. I would never say that he was against it. So if I would agree that he was not against it, I would say that we were on the same page. We both agreed that however we could help, however we could be of assistance or help another family not feel what we were feeling, that we were going to do that. And so while we were dealing with things a little bit differently, we both came to the same conclusion that wasn't even an option. If there was a way to help people not have to go through what we were going through, then we were going to do that, and that Raven would have done that.
Right. Okay. Last question. Ended on a do you think a book is in your future, and is it going to be more about the process of how everything went, or are you going to try and turn it into just like a story about Raven? Like, what do you think? If you were to do it, what would you make it?
If I were going to do a book, it would not be telling my story again. I think that I've done that enough in the videos that I probably would not walk down that lane again. If it would be a book, I don't exactly know. I know that it wouldn't be retelling the story. Cover it, overview it, okay. But it would probably just be from more of like a mental, how to, what I mean? More, not like a how to, but things that helped me or things that I thought processed or, something like that. Maybe that would help somebody else I went to Barnes & Noble the other day, and I went to the grieving parents section, and all I wanted to do was read somebody that felt like me. And so maybe I would do something more along the lines of that. But now what? Like, I feel like this on page 1, how do you get me, out of the hole, essentially. So maybe that would be more of what I would do. It wouldn't be a here's what happened. Yeah. I feel like I've already kind of covered that from my end.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it for now, and we'll save the questions for maybe another time, or something like that. But I think we should end it here, and it was nice talking to everybody.
Thank you if you're still listening.
Yeah.
I've never done a live before, so I don't even know what's going on. Yeah. But I like this.
Yes. So our planning is to post this so that people can watch it later.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.